Hey guys, I'm Chapman. Originally this was done in 1993 by Worre, but I was only 7 at the time, so it didn't impact me as much as it does now. Me and Amber have been working on our network marketing business for the last 3 years now. And then when we came across this speech, it was just really inspiring. So I made a PowerPoint presentation, and I just wanted to hear what it would sound like with me saying it. So here it goes. Over 200 years ago, there was a revolution, an American Revolution, an event that literally changed the course of history. It was led by a group of unsatisfied people who were tired of being told what they could do and when they could do it, people who were fed up with their lack of choices and their lack of personal freedoms, people fed up with their lives being controlled by others, fed up with being oppressed, fed up with being manipulated. They said, finally, enough, I've had it, and I'm not gonna live like this anymore. You see, our ancestors were people who took full responsibility for what happened to them, and it was that spirit that ignited a country and formed what is now a giant in the free world. And I have a question for you. Where is that spirit today? It's time for another revolution, a healing one. Let me explain one of the laws of the universe. It's called the law of use. Whatever you don't use, you lose. Lack of use causes loss. Ambition unused declines. Faith unused decreases. If you don't use your skills, you lose your skills. If you don't use your freedom, you lose your freedom. Freedom does not come automatically. It's not attained and then handed down to us as an inheritance. It must be achieved every day. At the turn of the century, in the 1900s, less than 10% of us worked for other people or the government. Over 90% of us were self-employed. We were actually an independent people. By 1980, just 80 years later, over 90% of us worked for other people or the government. Less than 10% of us were self-employed. We changed from an independent people to a dependent people. We slowly shifted from people to full responsibility to just becoming very talented and practiced at the art of blaming others for our problems. Our giant had fallen asleep. Our forefathers didn't ask, who's going to take care of me? They simply asked to be free and the ability to take care of myself and my family. Today we elect officials who will quote unquote take care of us. We cry out to anyone who dare ask us to add more value to the workplace. We do anything and everything we can to spread around the suffering in this society. No one is willing to step up and be a part of the solution. We slowly changed from a society that compensates based on value to a society that compensates based on entitlement and seniority. What we have come to believe is our due, and we act as if someone owes us a living. And part of this change is due to the dramatic rise of conformity in our society. You know, we're all taught to conform, and incredible pressure is put on us to do things the right way. And yet, no one asked the question, is it really the right way? A man once said, I'm just a collection of mirrors reflecting what everyone expects of me. We live our lives to please those around us, and the scary thing is, the people around us are doing exactly the same thing. Psychology calls this outer directed people. We don't act, we only react. We seek not to be outstanding, but to fit in. We are able to respond, but we do not choose. Perhaps that's why a wise man once said, the mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. In order to change, we need to become inner-directed people, People with our own purpose. People who are not easily swayed by the opinions of others. And that's difficult. Because from an early age, we've looked to the opinions of others to orient ourselves and to validate our decisions and our actions. We need more strong people in this world, because the weak, by their sheer mass, are going to be enforcing weak ideals and weak values on all of us. Today's massive social and economic challenges are waking the sleeping giant. Some people may not be ready for the changes that are happening today, but it doesn't matter if you're ready or not. An old proverb says, if a man wants his dreams to come true, he must first wake up. And I, for one, am glad for the radical change in society, because I believe that in the crisis, we will find that independent spirit again and be moved to change. Placement of our workforce has caused many to look for better ways to make money, including us. Moving products and services is our goal, but what we are becoming while in the pursuit of that goal is much larger, and it's a much more important issue. The rekindling of our independent spirit has more lasting value. The most notable in business is the one that encourages the development of people. Every organism has one and only one central need in life: to fulfill its own potentiality. The acorn becomes an oak, the puppy becomes a dog, and that's all. That's all that's required of them. The human being's task in fulfilling their nature, the destiny has more requirements, because unlike any other creature, we've all been given choice. You're not going to grow as a tree. You're only going to grow as you choose to grow. And when a person chooses to grow, two things happen. Number one, first, assuming responsibility for themselves takes on a whole new meaning. They act responsibly, not as something that they have been saddled with, but something they themselves have chosen. The second thing that happens to them, discipline from the outside is replaced with self-discipline. They act responsibly because they themselves have chosen what they want to do with their lives. They have an epitome of discipline. And just like the disenfranchised people back in the day who got fed up, there is another revolution coming. And it's coming not just from Americans. It's coming from people all over the world. From people who have been oppressed in meaningless jobs. From people who have been slighted or ignored. From people who have had their hopes crushed time and time again by circumstances around them. From people who have been playing in the game whose rules don't apply to everyone. And from people whose dreams die by the methodical dripping of negative and pessimistic forces. People who have just been waiting for the right opportunity to present itself. An opportunity that they could hold on to, believe in, a place where people believed in them. And I hear that rumbling of this coming revolution every day. The old rules are changing and society is ready. People will persuade you to stop pursuing your goals, but fearlessly, you must be protective of your goals and go forward towards them. Believe me, they'll try to stop you. There's another revolution coming, and it's going to be led by a group of unique and courageous people. Like you. People who have had enough and who picked out their mountain and said that they are going to the top. And if they say, you can't climb mountains, you don't have any experience, you tell them, I'm going to the top. And if they tell you, choose another mountain, come in, this one's too tough, what are you going to tell them? I'm going to the top. And what if someone says, let's go over here and take a break? What are you going to tell them? I'm going to the top. And if someone says, network marketing, what are you going to tell them? I'm going to the top. What if your friend says, nah, let's do this. It's too much work to do that. I'm going to the top. If anyone tells you you can't do it, you say, listen here, I'm going to the top. You're either going to see me waving at the top or dead on the side. I'm not coming back. And you know, there's something about that do or die attitude. Someone has a do or die attitude. Time, fate, and circumstance. They get together, they have a hasty conference, and they say, you know, he says he's gonna do it or die. Might as well let him have it. People here are special because you've already rekindled that independent spirit. You've already said you aren't gonna conform anymore. You are the people who want to set big goals and have the big aspirations for yourself. And you want to take care of your families and help others. You want to live in a community and in a place where your voice is heard and Mother Earth is cared for. Where owning your own business and controlling your own destiny is commonplace. People want a country where every man, woman, and child is treated with equal respect and dignity. People who pay any price so that their family will no longer live in a legacy of maxed out credit cards and unfulfilled promises. Today we stand at the genesis of a new revolution, and people like you are going to lead it. Teddy Roosevelt said, "We see across the dangers of the great future, and we rejoice as a giant are crushed." The great victories have yet to be won. The greatest deeds yet to be done. And Amber and I we're blessed because we've dreamt for a company that we can make these opportunities come true. And we're so grateful that you guys are allowing us to fulfill our own true potential.